As this crowd rolled into U.S. Bank Stadium, they were bundled up, jackets and scarves, downright cold outside on this November evening. But all good here inside as we welcome you to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Fofo's the mic. Mike's Fofo. Let's go, D.
Here's Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. A quick throw taken in by Diggs. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Here we go. Set. 18 gator. 18 gator.
On 3rd down, Brissett. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Buddy up. Mike 42. Check. Mike 42. Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Don't get nervous.
2nd down, Haskins. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Jones. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Looking to throw, Haskins. Looking middle, and that's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 42.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there heals a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back.
This is Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, now Haskins. He's got a man, it's Williams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Dexter Williams, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. shotgun. It's Brissett. He's got Smith here. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
On third down, Barkley. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
Now it's Barkley. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
That's it, baby.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. 44 is the mic. 44 is mic. Check, check.
To throw, Brissett. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
44 is the mic.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Throwing, Brissett, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone.
On the ground, this is Williams. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Haskins. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Third down. Here's Haskins. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They go back to the ground with Williams. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now Williams. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now it's Haskins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Brissett. And Diggs has it. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Into the air once more, it's Brissett. Hard throw, incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
First down, Green Bay.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Going to throw deep for the and it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Well, that 2nd down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. Haskins. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 2nd and 7, Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
It's taken to the 26. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Zadarius Smith in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. A give to Barkley out of the gun. Space to maneuver at the 40. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 68 yards on the ground. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Brissett. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take, and the Vikings are in for the touchdown.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Oh, the Packers have it. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now? Much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 2nd down, here's Haskins. It's caught here by Adams. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
13 yards, first down, Packers.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at their 49-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54.
On 3rd and 1, it's Haskins. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
First down.
Haskins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
42.
They run it again with Williams. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A touchdown would tie it. They trail 13-6 as they come up with a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. There he goes left side. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here we go. He's coming. Double up.
On second down, here's Barkley. He'll have a first down past the 40. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
At the 44-yard line.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Brissett. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Brissett now. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 24-yard line.
That's another Vikings.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Vikings 6.
Not today, you are. Not today.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
At the Packers' 16-yard line.
On second down now, Barkley, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Here we go. Hey, hold on. 50 to Mike. 50 to Mike. Let's go.
They'll run it again with Barkley. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
A first down carry for Barkley, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Packers' 13-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Now Myers for the extra point. And this time he gets it to go as it is up and good. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone knows to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Williams. He finds an opening past the 40 and finally brought down at the 43. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
From the 41, Haskins. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
At their 49-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. On second down, Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Let's go now. Check. Hey, pick your game up.
Again, it's Barkley. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3, he got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Brissett on 4th down. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now left side on the swing pass. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Oh, I know it goes against the grain here. It totally goes against it, but you've got to drop the ball in that situation. He makes the catch, but he loses yards and doesn't get out of bounds.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. Haven't heard much from him all night, but welcome to the party, making his presence felt in a big way.
They've kept him under wraps all night long, but boy, did he find a great time to bust out.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
They come out here in the eye. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. As they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's go, Heavy. Tell me what you got.
Now it's Haskins. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Boy, Charles, what a critical call in a tie game late.
You want to have the tight coverage. You don't want to cause the penalty. Pass interference in this case. Remember, it's a yardage foul in the NFL, a spot foul where it occurs.
Check, Mike 42. Squeeze, down the low.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Haskins. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The busy night continues for Williams. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Haskins to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Let's go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and making an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Brissett. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Kevin King there defensively.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Deuce. Go. Pop. Mike 50, Mike.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Packers, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7-1. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL.